Welcome back to Predicting the NFL with Mickey G. It is now week 4, and let's just say week 3 did not go according to plan. Okay, we went 6-10. That is actually percentage-wise the second worst that we have ever done. The worst being week 6 of 2020 when I went 5-9. It's a slightly worst percentage. We got the game of the week wrong, we got the upset wrong, and we got the crap fest wrong. The Rams did win though after I wore the Bulger jersey, but I did pick them to lose, so I am now 0-3 in jersey picks. Now total on the season we are 24-24, so we are now completely at 500. 1-2 in the game of the week. 1-2 in upsets and 1-2 in the crap fest. Jersey teams are 2-1 when I wear them, the loss being the Jaguars, and I am 0-3 in my jersey picks, so not great there. You might be able to hear a dog yapping. I want to just grab that thing. Now in week 3 we are 49-47, which is really bad. That has by far our most losses. 2-3 in games of the week, 1-4 in upsets, 1-4 in crap fests, 2-1. Teams are 2-1 when I wear the jersey, and I am 1-2 in my jersey picks. Last week, what happened? Well, the upset, as mentioned previously, did not even come close to happening. Aaron Rodgers looked like his old self, had a great game, and just completely dismantled the Patriots team. The game of the week was not even close to the game of the week. CJ Stroud and the Texans had no answer for Brian Flores and the Vikings defense, just complete destruction, 34-7 victory there. And our crap fest of the week, I was wrong. I gave a little too much faith. I had a little too much faith in the Bungles. And then Jaden Daniels went out there and decided to score on every possession, which they've now done the past 2 weeks. The rest of the games, the Steelers were able to beat the Chargers. It helped that partway through the game. Herbert did receive an injury and left early. The Jags were embarrassed on Monday Night Football. I need everyone fired. Just fire everyone. Put me at coach, man. I mean, if you're going to lose 47-10, I honestly don't think I can do a worse job. They had the worst halftime deficit in franchise history. The Jags have had a lot of bad losses. So, impressive to get a record like that going. The Packers destroyed the Texans in a nice revenge game for Malik Willis. The Bears Caleb Williams performed just poorly enough that he could not win that football game. Broncos with a shocker over the Buccaneers. Giants with a big win over the Browns. Scores a lot closer than the game really was. Malik Neighbors completely unstoppable that whole game. Skylar Thompson looked terrible against the Seahawks. We even got some Tim Boyle playing time. Dolphins, without Tua, might be the worst team I've ever seen, and I watched the Jaguars on Monday night. Andy Dalton and the Red Rifle looked great, all right? It does kind of make you think then that it's definitely Bryce Young. The Ravens beat the Cowboys pretty handily, and then they decided to allow a bit of a comeback, but it wasn't enough, and Ravens get their first win of the season, a close one and controversial one in the Chiefs-Falcons game. Now, controversial to me for a different reason than the missed pass interference, okay? If the Falcons kick a field goal, then it doesn't matter, because then they can go down the field again and just kick a field goal, and then they win the game. But instead, they went for it the previous time, so then they have to go for it the next time because they allowed a field goal after that, and then they lost because they were trying to get a touchdown instead of a field goal. Take the points. I am a huge believer of just taking the points. The Eagles and the Saints played an absolutely disgusting game, and Derek Carr and Rashid Shaheed killed all of my fantasy teams. The Rams able to win against the Niners in the Injury Bowl. However, Jauan Jennings, my GOAT, with a great showing there. The Lions beat the Cardinals with a fun little hook and ladder almost kind of thing. But anyways, that's how last week went. So let's talk about this week and the predictions. First on our list, we have actually the Jersey game. As you can see here, I got my beautiful Josh Hines Allen jersey. It came in shortly after I filmed last week's, and that's why I didn't wear it then. I then wore it on Monday night, hoping it would give us a little bit of, some luck. And then we had one of the worst games in franchise history. But maybe it'll help this week. I don't know, man. I think the worse they get, the quicker Doug gets fired, and then I think the faster we can actually have a functional team. But we'll see. Who do I think's gonna win this? The Texans, man. The Jags look awful. Next is the Steelers at the Colts. The Steelers are on a hot streak. They're doing well, and they're playing Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is bad. The Steelers' defense is good. There's nothing more I need to say. The Steelers are winning this one. Next is the Broncos at the Jets. The Broncos had a pretty good game last week, but so did the Jets. And I think the Buccaneers' defense might not be that great. And I'm thinking Aaron Rodgers is going to lose to Bo Nix. So I'm going with the Jets in this one. Next is the Chiefs at the Chargers. These games are always close, and then the Chiefs win. However, Herbert is questionable. I think he's going to play, but I have a feeling with his injury, it's going to be tough, and the Chiefs are going to get this one. Next, we have the Browns at the Raiders. The Browns look bad, except when they're playing the Jaguars. However, the Raiders are the most I have no idea team in the league. They beat the Ravens one week, and then they lose to the Panthers the next. They're in a weird spot, and I think the Browns are a game they will lose. The Bills at the Ravens. If I'm not incorrect, I'm pretty sure the Ravens are favorites here. They're at home, but no one has looked better than the Bills all season. I'm definitely picking the Bills. Josh Allen, MVP incoming. Dude is playing lights out right now. Next is the Titans at the Dolphins. This is our crap fest of the week. We have the 0-win Titans against the Skylar Thompson, or maybe Tim Boyle, or maybe Huntley-led Dolphins. They look awful. These teams both suck, but I think there's a chance here that Will Levis can actually win a football game here. He did, however, give us another funny image, so we have to thank him for that. I think he'll be funny enough this week to get a win, because that would be funny. Next, we have the Bengals at the Panthers. This is actually our upset of the week. We have Andy Dalton in a revenge game. And now you might be saying, well, the Panthers already have a win. Are they really an upset over the Bengals? I think so. If the Bengals are thought to be actually worse than the Panthers, then that's a whole different conversation here. But betting lines do have the Bengals as the favorites, and I will be smashing Panthers money line and making money off it. Next is the Patriots at the 49ers. So a tough one for both of these teams, but one of them actually managed to score more than 3 points. I think the 49ers feed Jauan Jennings again here, and they go out and get a nice victory. Next, moving into the NFC, we have the Cowboys at the Giants. The Giants had a nice victory over the Browns. The Cowboys look really, really bad. However, I do think they're still better than the Giants. I can't see the Giants winning 2 in a row. That would be a little crazy. So I'm thinking the Cowboys are getting this one. Next is the Vikings at the Packers. Vikings look really good right now. Their defense is basically unbeatable so far. The Packers, if they play Jordan Love, it's right off an injury, and that's not a great... You don't want to play a just injured guy against what looks like the best defense in the league. However, you also don't really want to play Malik Willis against the best defense in the league. I think this is a lose-lose situation for the Packers, and I'm going with the Vikings here. Even though I've been hating on them all season, I think I want to actually pick them to win this week, which feels a little icky. Next is the Rams at the Bears. Rams with a nice victory last week, and Caleb Williams continues to play poorly. He got his first passing touchdowns, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think Sean McVay is going to put him in a blender, man. The Rams are getting this one. Next is the Eagles at the Buccaneers. Both of these teams looked bad last week. One of them got a win. I think, however, the Buccaneers are going to be the ones that bounce back and look better. The Eagles, I'm not sold on them. I don't know what happened last week. I'm just picking the Buccaneers. I really don't have any reasoning behind it. I just think they're going to win this game. Next is the Saints at the Falcons. The Falcons the last couple weeks have looked a lot better than I thought they were after watching them week 1. The Saints looked a lot worse than I thought they were after watching the first couple weeks. I'm going to go with the Falcons in this one. It is home. I feel like this is going to be a division series that gets split. So going with the home team, I feel like, is the safe route. Next, we have Washington at the Cardinals. Washington looked pretty good. However, it was against a bad team, but I am a hater of the Cardinals. And if Washington can continue to score on every drive that they have, then that's a hard recipe to defeat. 2 weeks ago against the Giants, they could only get field goals. This time, now they're getting touchdowns as well. Terry McLaurin had a beautiful game. I think Washington gets the victory on the road in this one. And then finally, we have the Seahawks at the Lions. This is our game of the week, okay? The undefeated Seahawks going up against a good, not great, a good Lions team. However, I am not completely sold on the Seahawks, and I think they lose their undefeated streak in this one. The Lions, I think, are the better team overall, and I don't think their defense is very good. And this is an offense that puts up decent points. So I think that's going to be the struggle here for the Seahawks. I would like to see the other outcome. I would love to see a Seahawks win, but I don't think they're going to get it. And so if I get it wrong, I'll feel happy anyways. But that's all for this week. I feel like I was moving fairly quick here. Yeah. So that's cool. Thanks for stopping by, and hopefully we do better than the 6-10, because that is embarrassing.